Hello and welcome to the Round 11 review for Supercoach 2022. It is George from Fantasy Tech TV, and today we'll discuss how we went, what our trades were, and how we're set up for the buys. So this week, very unforgiving week. Just a lot of players that went really big. Tom Stewart, Sinclair. Didn't have either of those two. Had Petrarch and Heeney. Speak about Heeney soon. If you just, you one or two, a few premiums here and there just made a massive difference to the ranks this week. So I thought I had a decent week, but just not having certain players, forced us to go down the ranks. So we scored 2,424, ranked 7,300. I still hope we can finish top 1K. I think we'll need a few things to go our way, and it feels very tough to get there, but I think we're about 400 points, I want to say, behind, so it's not impossible, but I think over the buys, we should be okay. Last year, our buys were pretty catastrophic. Few injuries leading up to the buys, and then the Richmond game got moved and failed captain that round, and premium sucked, and I think we scored like 300 below par in the last buy round. It was just a catastrophe, but I don't think that'll happen this week, so... or these buy rounds, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. So our trades last week, we went Sam de Koning to Jacob Ware and Braden Preuss to Jared Witz. So the logic behind this was Preuss trained and he played VFL, so I figured they just didn't pick him. So going forward, during the buy rounds, you would expect that he comes back, but just in case he doesn't come back, apparently he didn't play that well in the VFL, but you still think that he's a decent chance to come back in. Based on that, I didn't want to... Someone that doesn't have 100% job security during the buys, I want to get rid of if they have that much money tied up to them. So I think Priest was about 450k, so got him to Wits, get the points on the field this week, which unfortunately meant we had to go early on Jacob Ware. And it's one of those things where I hate leaving things to chance. I want to minimize that aspect of the game as much as possible, but I thought Ware played okay in his first game. 23-year-old mature ager. Nick Haynes, Adam Kennedy, and Whitfield have to come back into the team, so it might be a little bit of a worry, but I think there's a chance that he still holds his spot. So we went early on Ware. I figured we have to access de Koning's cash by round 13 anyway, so just did it, and hopefully it pays off. So got us. What did it get us? Instead of fielding Sam Hayes, like 58 points, something like that. Plus I captained him, would have captained McRae, so it got us about 80 points. So, very happy with that. So we'll take that, and this game, I guess, you got to put points on the board. So, which I failed to do early on in the year, so we'll take that. Buys, hopefully we do okay in the buys. We'll go over that in a sec, but we'll go over the team. So just touch on the defense. So this bench is just clapped. It's stuffed. I don't know what to do other than hope that Ware can be covered for the year and Thompson comes back later in the year. So defense, LeBron James, Sicily, unbelievable again. I didn't see this game. I was watching the other game, which I forgot which one I was watching that night. I was watching the Dogs game. Unbelievable. So we take that. George Stewart, again, continues his run of 110 plus, so we take that. Dawson played a bit forward, but mostly wing and difficult ground to play at Cardinia. And I thought the Crows played well. It's just that we kicked to Tom Stewart and Sam de Koning about 50 times. So, while it was a bit of a double whammy, watching the Crows lose and Tom Stewart go nuts. So, a bit of a problem not having him, and there's nothing we can do about it. No chance we get him in. So, that's whatever. So, Chris was really good. Fourth quarter wasn't great, I guess, but that's whatever. 97, we take that. And Jaden Short's role is a bit iffy at the moment, so I guess whatever. I should average 100 at least for the rest of the year, you would think. Can't remember if he went down back or not. I think he did for a bit. I can't remember. I need to double check that. And then McCartan's been really good, so we need to hold him another week. His break even is 50, so hopefully he can make a little bit more money. And then the midfield, we vice captained Oliver, who got tagged by James Aish in the second half. So yeah, I thought 20 disposals early in the second quarter. You thought you were going to lock that one away, but wasn't the case, unfortunately. So was sick of getting 110s as captain, so I thought I'd just put the captaincy on Wits. Didn't want to take 113. Got 6 points, but yeah. Lockie Neal, we missed out on the captaincy. Probably another reason why I didn't climb the ranks is you think most people would have vice-captain Neal. When you can vice-captain Neal, you always do. Except I thought it's against the Giants. I figured, I've been hurt by captaining and vice-captaining players against the Giants before. Why waste a VC potentially again? And should have done it on Neal. I think they sent Perryman to him early and didn't really work out. So that's a bit of a pain. Yeah, haven't got a single 160 captain score, but it's whatever. We brought in Rory Laird, who he was outstanding. I think his ball use and a few clangers here and there hurt him, but he stuffed the stat sheet. I think 14 clearances, 20 contested, 38 touches, something like that. A whole bunch, I think 8 tackles as well. So when you look at that stat sheet, you're looking at like a 140, 150, but only 120. I think a few clangers here and there hurt him a bit, but yeah, he plays West Coast twice, West Coast next week and North twice. So that's part of the reason why we brought in Laird. So yeah, I think he'll be top 8 midfielder. He was outstanding, so that's fine. McRae's what's his 5-round average? Oh, still 110. That's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to go 120 for the year. Just too many dogs want points, I think. So yeah, I think Treloar's mid-time is upped a lot, and even though Baz wasn't playing, and also English is getting a lot of the ball around the ground, so I think these dogs are all just eating into each other's score. McRae's starting off the bench a bit, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, just 102, that's whatever. He's just like, I think we don't captain him. I keep saying we don't captain him, but not sure. I think it's got to be on like Neal and Oliver and maybe Wits as well. We'll see. I think Laird this week as well. Took 109, that's whatever. I can't remember if I watched that game. I didn't watch it, I don't think. I think it was versus Hawthorn. Yeah, I didn't see that game. And then Petrarca. So Petrarca was sick. Woke up with illness. Don't know what it was. Decided to play him. And yeah, you knew something was wrong when, fourth quarter, Freo are down. The Freo are up. Kicked, I don't know, a few goals in a row. Yeah, starting to break away from Melbourne, and yeah, centre bounces. Petrarca starting up forward instead of in the midfield. They take Oliver. I mean, yeah, recipe for disaster if that happens. So, yeah, just move on. Hopefully, super annoying. Shouldn't have even played, but whatever. Paddy Cripps was okay. Better than the last 2 weeks. So I thought, kicked a goal. I don't know, his fantasy score wasn't that good. Must have won a lot of contested ball. There are moments where he looks like, Cripps over the first few weeks, but there are also moments where he just goes missing for a bit and just doesn't look as dominant. So, dropped off a little bit, but that's fine. That's, 114, can't really complain too much, but I think, honestly, if you told me that Cripps would average 105 for the rest of the year, I would take that, just because I worry if there's some sort of decline, but we got him pretty cheap, so hopefully he keeps up the good work. And then we've had a choice, McComb, Clark, Hobbs. Wrong choice, only lost 12 points, so that's okay, I guess, but a bit annoying. I just figured McComb against West Coast in a win, rather than Clark, who's getting no CBAs, on a wing against the Dogs, and then Hobbs away game against Port. He's been very good, so he's been, yeah, we're going to need him in the second bye round, and we're going to need his money, so very lucky we have Benny Hobbs. And Rioli, like whatever, just give me a good score on the bye, that's it. And then the Ruck, so I think with Jared Witts, people were expecting like a big, massive score. So there were 48 total hitouts for this game, whereas the game Witts played last week, there were 92 hitouts. So yeah, I don't know if that was Sam Mitchell trying to limit stoppages, but yeah, it just happened. So, you can't, if there's not that many stoppages, can't get that many hitouts advantage. So whatever. Gawn was good, back to his best, taking intercept marks, a few marks around the ground, think he kicked a goal. Sean Darcy's going to be R1, I think, for the rest of the year. We don't have him, but durability is an issue, so it's whatever. Sam Hayes on the bench, might be capped out, 49. So yeah, they kept him on the bench for a large part of the fourth quarter. Maybe he was gassed. So yeah, 661. Maybe he makes a bit more money. I'm not sure we'll need his money or not. It just depends on if we get Team English or not. And then yeah, forward line dunks, unreal. Brody was really, really good. I honestly think he'll outscore Brayshaw for the rest of the year. Parker was really good. Butters was solid today. Now Isaac, this is a bit of a problem. So I guess I knew what I signed up for with Heeney. There's a reason why he's like notoriously bad pick in Supercoach, even though, he's put some good averages up on the board. The role is not there. He has ups and downs. He cops knocks. Fortunately, he hasn't copped any knocks, but I think the issue is he's out of form, and two, his role is significantly worse, and three, his work rate I think has dropped off. So in the first few rounds, he was number 1 rated player in the league. In AFL play ratings, if anyone cares about that. But still, it's a decent indicator that he's playing good footy. So I'd like to know his how many kilometers he runs a game, like the last few weeks compared to the first few weeks, because I feel like he was pushing up the ground a lot more early in the year, and like even though he was starting forward or even at the wing, he was pushing up and down the ground non-stop, working his opponent into the ground, and that's when he was able to kick all those goals because of how hard he worked back. He was able to take a few marks over the top. So that's not happening anymore. He's not really flying for marks anymore. He's more swooping on contests rather than like trying to take marks or bashing and crashing into contests. So yeah, trying to like mop up the pill, if that makes sense, at the contest. So 53, role was horrific, deep forward for a lot of the game. Started wing, but yeah, kind of just, wing is just a bit iffy role for Supercoach, but I don't know what to say. I think 50 score. I think the major red flag here is his 5 or 6 run average in fantasy is 70, and you can't hide from fantasy scores, but you can hide from Supercoach scores. So his Supercoach has been okay, but his fantasy scores has dropped off a cliff, and he's a must trade in that format. So maybe he needs a spell. I'd like to hold him in round 14 and see how he goes. I can't trade him this week. Nothing I can do. I think everyone would want Tim English now. But yeah, nothing I can do. So in terms of Butters, Heeney, and Cogs, like who goes for a dog's forward? Well, I think last week it was probably Butters. I think this week Heeney's probably put himself at the bottom of the forward line at the moment. So just eye test wise, but we'll see how he goes. Heeney looked, leading into the bye last year, Heeney looked awful. He was playing a bit injured. He was limping all the time. Freshened up after his bye round, and I think averaged 92 post-bye, when multiple times in the back half of the year he was like limping on the ground and had to go off the ground for a bit of treatment. So yeah, I am optimistic that he can make a good run after the bye, and I want to see him in round 14. If he's still crap in round 14, round 15 we'll make the swap to dogs forward. I think we should be able to fund that in 2 trades. So we'll just see how he goes. But yeah, might cop a bit of a price drop. And then yeah, Cogs, good fantasy score, bad Supercoach score, whatever. I'm happy with Cogs. So yeah, bench Durden and Connor McDonald. I am very excited for Connor McDonald. He's our cover for the year. I think he'll keep playing. It's not even loading. But yeah, don't need his money. He will be our cover for the year, and he'll be very useful in the buy rounds because I think we're all struggling for players in the last buy. So trades this week, nothing we can do. But what we're gonna do next week. So yeah, no point doing this trade this week, but Macomb and Paddy, hopefully they make a bit more money and this loads to I think Owens. So Machida Owens kicked 2 goals, like has been in really good form in the VFL, and we've seen like Saligo, Owens, Hoff, give him some form let him have a run in the state leagues, get some footy under their belt, and they come good. A lot of us thought they were dead M11s for a long time, and now they've come good. So Owens there, and then our defender that we want, we can't get Stewart. What's his break even? 69. He's gone, and his buy doesn't suit us. It's Doherty or Sinclair. I'll pay up for Sinclair. So really annoying that he's got 140, 140 when we were about to bring him in. So you bring him in off 2 140s, probably going to drop like an 80 after that, just how things are. But yeah, we can afford that next week, provided McCartan and McComb combine for about 50 points. I want to say about 54 points, I think it is. So as long as I don't get injured early or something like that happens, we should be in the clear to do that trade. Otherwise, we'll have to go Doherty. So, but yeah, maybe we'll use a third trade to get Sinclair. I don't know, but yeah. Then that'll leave us with 9 trades left, and our only upgrade will be M8. Which I think is actually going to take 3 trades now that we have to pay up for Sinclair. I thought we were going to get him for about 530k, but not anymore. So we'll need to use Clark, Hobbs, and Durden to get a mid, pretty much anyone we want, and that'll leave us with 6 left. And then like a 1 up, 1 down, maybe like Hayes to a rookie, and then Heeney to English. That means no Baz, no Bont. And that'll get us 4 trades left with a full team. Bad cover in defense. English can kind of cover the rucks. And then McDonald and Rioli and whoever comes in covering in the midfield. So yeah, 4 trades to hold on for 9 weeks after the bye, and that's if nothing goes wrong during the buys. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, hopefully Ware can cover in defense. Otherwise, we might have to cop a donut here and there, or might have to make a trade to. I think anyone basically here could go to Sam Doherty if something goes wrong. So see how we go. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. But yeah, really tough year to climb in the ranks this year. Hopefully, I'll go over my buy rounds. So this is this week. So Thompson we don't count. We'll get Clark on the field, and we'll get the best rookie of the year, Connor McDonald. So no trades this week. So 4 plus 8, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 this week, hopefully. I don't think anyone's getting dropped. McComb and Clark may be a tad iffy. You would think McDonald plays. Shields I think gets dropped for O'Meara. So 19, so that's okay. Probably, I don't know who drops off here. McDonald's probably the weakest, but we never know. Maybe we get a good score from him, but yeah, we'll see how we go. So round 13. So McCartan will be Sinclair. And then just do this. Rioli's barely counts as a player, but so that'll be Sinclair, that'll be Owens. Hopefully field 2 in the ruck. Sam Hayes will get a rest. He probably needs one. So we're actually okay for this buy round. So say 5 without Ware, just in case. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hang on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that'll be Owens. 12, I think. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. With Ware 20. So we've held McDonald all this long. I think he should outscore, maybe outscores Rioli. So hopefully we get some, 20 playing. I think that's quite healthy for the middle buy. I think a lot of people are going to have trouble in that buy. Especially with, I think Buku's going to get dropped. I think Carroll's going to get dropped. I don't think Hamilton comes back. He didn't play VFL today. Who else is there? We don't have Cooper Stevens, we don't have Saligo, who are other players in the middle buy. So I think we'll be okay. And then this buy here, well, I think we've got 21, so I'm not even going to bother with that. But yeah, we'll just fix the team to like this. So Thompson can stay on the bench. Who cares? He's definitely not coming back unless they wheel him out. So we'll line up like this. So yeah, should finish the team with 4 left. That's not ideal. Last year I finished with 3 left. And we just scraped through. I think we lost Siebel in the last round, so it would have been nice to trade him, but we couldn't. We had Bramble, I think. Bramble was our M8 with Shea Bolton for the rest of the year. I think we lost... I can't remember who got injured. Someone got injured late and we could only go down to someone that was cheap, and went to Shea Bolton and stuff that up. So yeah, that's how we're lining up this week. Let me know how you went, all that. How many you have for the buys. So yeah, fingers crossed we have a good week and hope they go up. So good luck for this week, and we'll see you guys soon.